Biloxi High School, the only public high school in Biloxi, was originally built in 1912 on Howard Avenue. Professor D.D. Cowan opened the public school, and then a new Biloxi High School was constructed in 1961 on Father Ryan Avenue. That building is now home to the Biloxi Upper Elementary School, which houses grade 5 and 6. The current Biloxi High School on Tribe Drive, north of the Bay, is hailed as a state-of-the-art facility. It opened in 2002 and originally served grades 10, 11, and 12. With the 2009 school year, a $12 million expansion saw the addition of a new wing to host 9th grade students, as well as the addition of an internet cafe. Currently, Biloxi High School holds around 1,728 students in grades 9 through 12 and 100 faculty members. The $35 million facility was named one of the best schools in the country by the U.S. Department of Education in 2006. It is also ranked 8th within Mississippi. This facility includes fully equipped science laboratories, computer labs, a 200-seat lecture hall, practice and competition basketball courts, a football stadium, music areas with individual practice room and risers, and a pottery kiln in the art classroom. In the fall of 2020, the public Biloxi School District opened a state-of-the-art $15 million Performing Arts Center, also known as the BPAC, on the Biloxi High School campus. The BPAC was created to host the many performing groups and ensembles that exist within the Biloxi Public School District and to raise the level of performance experience for all the students. Now, we will introduce Ms. Teresa Martin, principal of Biloxi High School. She talked about her experience working at Biloxi Public School and why she transferred to Biloxi High School. She talked about her future goals for the students and how she implements it with the teachers. Ms. Martin also talked about how she is proud of the student body and how they have grown over the past few years. We asked her what the motto of Biloxi High School is and what she has to say.
Okay, well, back in 1996, when I graduated with my degree in elementary education, right now there's a teacher shortage, but in 1996, there were plenty of teachers. So honestly, Biloxi Public Schools is the one that offered me a job first, and I started teaching kindergarten. However, I will say that because Biloxi Public Schools is the very, very best, I've been here for my entire 25-plus year career.
When did you become principal of Biloxi High School?
See, I became principal of Biloxi High School. It was actually in the middle of a school year, and it was year 1920 that I became principal of Biloxi High School. Prior to that school year, I was the principal over at North Bay Elementary. However, during that time, in the 1920 school year, Mr. Boudreau was the principal here at Biloxi High School. He then became superintendent of Biloxi Public Schools, and then that is when I came over around February of 2020 school year. My approach to curriculum and instruction at Biloxi High School, first let me say that we pride ourselves in hiring the very best faculty and staff here at Biloxi Schools. We put as many resources as we can into our faculty and staff so that they can in turn put all of those resources into our students. So the approach to that then is to make sure as an administrator and the principal here that I continue to support teachers in the way that they need to be supported in each of their areas, in their curriculum, in their activities, in whatever they're doing to support students. I make sure that we put the time and energy into those teachers so that they can be there for you all as they are each and every day. And please let me say this, it is not just Teresa Martin that does this, it is our entire Biloxi High School administration, and we lead in that way. The one thing that makes this school unique, that is the easiest question you have asked me so far, that's going to be our student body. We have an amazing student body. Let's just take, for instance, those of you that are interviewing me right now, you all are wonderful. You come from probably various places within our city, and you probably have different interests, different backgrounds, and all different kinds of things. But just like you all are working together here today, that's what we do each and every day right here at Biloxi High School. So that's easy. It's our students. So we accomplish things each and every day here. Now, those that are most notable to the community, just because things in the community are out there, whether it be social media or whatnot, a lot of people look towards athletics or towards the fine arts and things like that. And we're very successful in both of those areas. But as far as academically, we are A-rated, and we have been. We are an A-rated district as well as an A-rated high school, which circles right back to our faculty, staff, and of course our amazing student body. So I would say that that's accomplishment in itself.
What are you most proud of Biloxi High School?
I'm most proud of, let's go right back to our student body. I know I keep saying that, but look, this place would be nothing without the students. I have been so very proud in these probably last 2 and 3 years on how we've made such a push on this campus for school spirit and togetherness. Now, we're a great student body, but we needed that school spirit. We needed that buy-in. We needed that be Biloxi's best each and every day, showing up for each other, getting more involvement in our clubs, honor societies, athletics, fine arts, and I have seen that these last couple of years, and I will tell you, I'm extremely, extremely proud of that. I'll give you, for example, the other day I walked into the cafeteria during study hall time, and the Beta Club was meeting in there. I can remember my first year as a principal, the Beta Club had very few members. When I walked into that cafeteria for that meeting the other day, it was packed. So I would say that the thing that I'm most proud of is trying to put my vision out there of, I believe that every student needs to be involved in something, and when I saw that, I was very proud of that.
What are the mottos of Biloxi High School?
Well, the mottos of Biloxi High School, that's easy. It's be Biloxi's best. And of course, I always like to say go Big Red, because that's just old school from back when I started in 1996 and even before that. So those would be the two mottos.
Biloxi High School offers a lot of different classes for students. The school also offers over a dozen sports as well as many different clubs and activity for students so they can choose which one to go after. Being a Biloxi High School student, they get to have the opportunity to join whatever sport or clubs they want, and that is a blessing. No matter what one does after high school, some people try to move as far away as possible to not go back to the environment they were just in or come back and work with their previous school. Here are some teachers and alumni who were students of Biloxi High School and came back to teach where they graduated from. First, Ms. Jillian Arnold, who graduated from Biloxi High and started teaching 12th grade English in August of 2021. While she mentioned that she was not ready to come back to the coast, when she interviewed with other schools, those schools did not align with her spirit. So she decided to try an interview with her alma mater, and she found an instant click and decided to stay. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Miss G, and I teach 12th grade English.
When did you start working at Biloxi High School?
I started working at Biloxi High School in the August of 2021.
What else do you do besides being a teacher here?
So besides being an English teacher, I'm a senior class sponsor, and I'm one of the coaches of the dance team.
What is your experience here at Biloxi High School?
My experience working here has been absolutely amazing. I chose Biloxi obviously because I went here, and when I started, I basically had no idea what I was doing, and all of my teachers that taught me are still here because I'm super young and youthful. And when I didn't know what to do and still don't know what to do, there's resources all over the school, people that I feel comfortable asking and reaching out to and who are willing to help me.
What does it mean working here as an alumni of Biloxi High School?
So to me, working here as an alumni is really, really special. I bleed red and white, as most of you know if you passed my classroom on game day. I think this is the best school, not just on the coast, but in the nation. I think we have the best faculty, we have the best kids, we have the most beautiful facilities. We kick butt in sports. I think we're just the best of the best, so it's really special that I get to still celebrate being a Biloxi Indian.
When you were coming up on college graduation, was Biloxi High School one of your choices?
It honestly was not. I didn't want to come back to the coast just yet. I interviewed with schools in Georgia and Tennessee, and every time I interviewed with them and got on Zoom with them, I just felt like there was something missing. And as soon as I interviewed with Miss Martin, I just knew it was meant to be, like this is where I was supposed to come back to, and it's been the greatest decision I've ever made.
What is your favorite experience here as an alumni and as a teacher?
Okay, so when I was in high school, one of my favorite experiences, my sophomore year of high school, our baseball team went all the way to state, and we used to rent vans, and we called it Van Squad, and the whole student section would go all over. We went to Florida, we went to different northern parts of Mississippi, and just cheer for our baseball team all together, and that was super fun. My favorite memory so far, being a teacher, I think actually happened this year when one of my students, Simeon Walton, asked me to walk him out on senior night at football. That was really special to me, and it means a lot that I'm making an impact on y'all as much as you're making an impact on me.
Next, we have Miss Allen and Miss Deer, who both graduated from Biloxi High School and started teaching here. They go on to talk about their experience here and why they choose to come back and teach in Biloxi. Please introduce yourself.
I am Miss Haley Allen.
I am Miss Carol Deer.
What is your educational background?
I graduated from Mississippi State University with my bachelor's degree, and then I went on to get a master's degree from Belhaven University.
I received my bachelor's from the University of Southern Mississippi.
What made you move here or work at Biloxi High?
I came back to Biloxi High because I wanted to be on my old stomping grounds. So I wanted to experience what it felt like to be at Biloxi as a teacher instead of just a student.
I've always been an Indian. My dad was assistant principal when I was growing up at Biloxi High. And when I got my degree in business education, it was just the natural place to come to.
When did you become a teacher here?
I became a teacher here immediately after I graduated with my bachelor's degree in 2018.
I began my teaching career here at Biloxi High in 1990.
What else are you in charge of outside of teaching?
I am the yearbook advisor here, so I have the responsibility of creating the history book for the year every year.
I am the sponsor for the National Business Honor Society. I've done other things in my 35 years of teaching. I also work with the boys basketball team.
What are your favorite memories of being an alumni and a teacher?
I think my favorite memory is as an alumni and as a teacher, and it kind of still makes me like bubbly and warm inside, is when I get to go to the pep rallies. Like, the pep rallies are so exciting for me, even though they've changed a whole lot. Like, Miss Deer can definitely vouch for that too, but they've changed a lot, but the energy is still there. So
Pretty much the same thing. When we were growing up, we actually had two pep rallies on Friday. We had a morning pep rally that came after second period, and then we had a big pep rally later. But it's just the energy and the vibe.
What is your favorite thing about Biloxi High?
my favorite thing about Biloxi High is the diversity, for sure. Just looking out into all of my classes every single period, I have so many different walks of life, and I think that that is unique to Biloxi specifically, on the coast and in the rest of the state, and then probably even nationwide, I would say too. We just have a lot of different kids and a lot of different personalities to meet.
When I was in high school myself, we only had like 4 Vietnamese students. We didn't have hardly any Hispanic students, and now it is a lot. I mean, and it's great that we have all that diversity. Biloxi was my number one option.
So when you were in high school, were you in the yearbook?
I was on the yearbook staff my senior year, and I held 2 editorial positions. So I held the position of sales manager and copy editor because my grammar was really good, of course. That's why I'm an English teacher now. And so that was probably also one of my favorite experiences, besides the pep rallies, for sure. So when the opportunity came about, Miss Martin was like, hey, I know you were part of the yearbook staff when you were here at high school. Do you want to do the same thing and help other young children discover their passion for photography and journalism? And I was like, sure, absolutely. And we've been here ever since. So
Some teachers move to Biloxi District from other schools and decide to stay a while. Upcoming, we have Miss Coakley, the director of choral music, who started working here in 2019. Miss Coakley moved here from Northwest Rankin High School due to her husband changing jobs. Could you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Susan Coakley, and I'm the choral director at Biloxi High School.
Why did you choose to work here at Biloxi High School?
When I first interviewed at Biloxi, it was for the piano position. I had been doing choral directing for a very long time, and when I met with Mr. Boudreau about the piano job, it seemed something I'd like to do because it was slowing down the pace just a little bit. But then when he looked at my resume, he also had me that first year teach piano and do choir.
When did you become a teacher here?
I started teaching here the year of COVID. So this is my 6th year. Let's say I've been doing show choir for 2. So this is my 6th year at Biloxi High School. I taught piano and choir, and then we had to leave in March for COVID. Then the next year I just taught piano, and it was at the end of that year that I took over the choral program.
So far as you're a teacher, what is your experience here?
Oh, this is like one of the best places to teach. The first thing is you have so much support from your administration, from the superintendent all the way down. The kids here are unique, but it's a great type of unique. I get to teach all kinds of students, and I love the vibe here.
What are your favorite memories so far?
Well, one of my favorite memories is the first year I was here when I was doing choir, my Christmas concert. That was a fun concert to do, and the kids, I felt like it was about then that the kids really bought into being in choir. And then I enjoyed all the piano that I taught, but recently, since I've been doing show choir and choir, we have been super successful at not only competing but building a program and building a solid program. And so my choirs are receiving superiors at choir festivals, and my show choirs are winning trophies at competitions, and that's just it's a great thing for the kids because it makes them see that hard work really pays off.
What is your favorite thing about being a teacher here?
I just have to say the students. That is by far my favorite.
What school did you teach before Biloxi High, and how is it different?
Well, I've taught at a lot of schools because, I'm not exactly the youngest teacher you're ever going to meet. But my last school that I taught at was Northwest Rankin High School. And I would say that when I interviewed, Mr. Boudreau was the principal, and he said, now this is a really diverse student body. How do you feel about teaching in a diverse student body? We have all kinds of people here. And I said, well, it'll just be the same as Northwest Rankin. And so the only difference between Northwest Rankin and Biloxi is the location. I felt like Northwest Rankin, that's why I enjoyed teaching there so much, but my husband got a different job and we had to move to the coast. But I love teaching at Northwest Rankin because it was a very diverse student body, super diverse. And so when he asked me that question, I was like, well, I guess it'd be just like teaching at Northwest Rankin. So it's a lot the same. I think the kids on the coast are a little more laid back, just a little bit. It's just that vibe down here. And I probably as a teacher am a little more laid back down here than I was up there. So when last year our show choir theme was Mardi Gras, and we kind of showed how we celebrated Mardi Gras in Biloxi. It was by far like one of my favorite shows, and I thought, how am I ever going to choose something else? And I was just home one day thinking, you know what? There are very few schools that have show choirs that can get up and do an entire show of 20 minutes about their town. We live in a cool town. For us that live here, we're kind of used to it. But when people talk to me about living in Biloxi, they're like, oh my gosh, what's it like being? And it's like, you remember then how cool it is. We have the beach, we have the casinos, we have so much entertainment here, opportunities to go places and do things. And so when I was thinking about the show for this year, I thought, you know what, let's tell everybody about Biloxi, because I think we're one of the best kept secrets in Mississippi. I think that people need to come to Biloxi more and more.
Whether growing up in Biloxi, planning a future away, or moving to the coast from somewhere else, we all feel the everlasting impact of Biloxi High School makes on its student, faculty, and staff. Our motto, excellence from all, for all, extends beyond the classroom, and it will continue to shape more lives as well as school goes on. And as always, go be great.